So we're revisiting my barbecue, which was modified last year. If you recall, the drum barbecue which I built some 5-6 years ago, the drum had rusted through last year, so it was removed, the frame extended and replaced with a new stainless steel firebox, which you see on the screen at the moment. I've also got a Weber 22-inch Smoky Mountain, which I've been using recently for indirect cooking. I've modified that. There's a video about that as well. But then space was an issue inside the 22-inch. There's quite a few family members, and it does restrict the amount that you can cook in there. So I put my mind to modifying my barbecue once again, and came up with this. So basically what we've got here is the top part. I've got a lid that I had fabricated. It's sitting inside my grill frame. The lid is sitting inside the grill frame, and it moves up and down. As you can see, it's in the it's in the up position there, but basically moves up and down if I need to access, to monitor, or to adjust or change or turn the meat that's cooking inside. There's a few things that I've done to it, when we'll take a closer look at it in a few minutes, but basically that's how it looks. I'll give you a quick demo of the movement of the thing. I've got two of those handles also welded onto the top, and the barbecue handles in case obviously it's going to get hot. And as you can see, there's a vent in the middle which is adjustable. We'll have a look at that in a few seconds, but basically it moves like so. There we go, it's in the closed position there. So like I said, we've got a vent at the top which is adjustable like so. We've also got two vents, one on either side of the firebox, again adjustable. And I've also put in two probe entry holes. I got these off the internet. I'm not sure exactly what this website was, but I came across them and I ordered them. They're for the smaller probes that go through. I then upgraded my probe set to the ThermoPro TP20, which has the slightly thicker probe ends, so it wouldn't go through those. So I fabricated this. I remember doing this for my Brinkman smoker that didn't have a probe entry, so I fabricated one for that, and basically I just use the same method. It's just a plate with the hole for the probe, and then obviously two holes to fit it to the firebox, and that would allow me to insert probes into the chamber. We'll have a look at the chamber itself, because that's had some changes to the way I've set up the grills. So we'll raise this back up again. It's obviously a little bit heavier than raising it with the grills, but it's fine, it works, it's okay. Let's get this back in again. There we go. So looking at the grills then, what I've done is the grills would normally sit, like I said, in the frame that the lid is sitting in, which is this one here. Normally sits in this frame here. So what we've got is I've basically put legs on the grills, which are removable. So if I want to use a standard kind of grill barbecue, then I would just remove the legs, sit the grills back in the frame itself. The lid can be lifted off, i.e. hence the handles, and can be put to one side. The grills then would sit back in the original place within the frame on either side, and then we would grill normally. what I've done here is to use the same grills, but if you can see, I've got plates. These are angle plates which I've just cut off at one end, and then just put them through with a bolt and a wing nut at different places, so one sits over the other. It can be removed, so you just basically lift them off. There's the angle plate there. The one at the bottom has a shorter one, so that sits first, and this one sits on top, and that's how it sits within the barbecue. So indirect cooking, for those of you who don't know, you have the heat on one end. In my case, I've used, because it's such a big cooking chamber, I've got two potential places where I would place the heat. So I'll put lit coals on both grills there. The meat would sit in the middle. Depending on how many I have, I would use one grill or two, but that has the capacity of approximately 8 chickens. So that's the capacity I have in there for that. Obviously, you've got a kind of a mixture of different types of meats you may want to put in there. So yeah, I'm going to test this out for heat and everything else. I must also add that the whole unit is very airtight, apart from the joint between the frame and the bottom part of the frame there. What I've done about that is ordered a gasket, 5mm gasket, which I'll then barbecue or oven gasket, and I'm just going to stick that onto the stainless steel box. So when the frame here lowers onto the frame, any potential gaps will be taken up by the gasket. So hopefully that will arrive in a few days, and I'll have that put on. For now, I'm just going to test it, see how it works, put in a couple of temperature probes, and see what kind of temperatures I can reach in the chamber. See if the vents work as they should, and hopefully we'll come back when I've started the process there. We've got the coals now lit, and I put them on both sides of the chamber. And what we're going to do is I've also got the probe sitting in the middle of the grill, so we'll monitor what temperatures we get in the middle of the cooking space. As you can see there, I've got the thermal probe hooked up. It's currently showing 35 degrees in that chamber there. Obviously it's open, so it's not going to be very high, but once we lower the lid, that should start rising, and then we'll adjust the vents hopefully and see how we progress. So let's now get that lowered. So we'll let that settle down for a while and then see how we get on. So it's now been 20 minutes since we lowered the lid, and our temperature inside the cooking chamber is currently at 357 Fahrenheit. It seems to be climbing steadily. All the vents are open, so it's got plenty of oxygen heating up the coals. There we go, 358. What I'll do is I'll bring it up to 375 and then start closing off the vents slightly, see if we can hold that temperature and for how long. So we'll come back when we get to that stage. We'll come back after another 15 minutes, and the ThermoPro reads 379 Fahrenheit inside the chamber. I'm really pleased with that, because I thought maybe perhaps with the size of the cooking chamber I may struggle to reach the higher temperatures, but it seems to have done really well. The vents are still open. By the way, the amount of briquettes that I've put in there was just under one bag for 1 5-kilo bag of briquettes went inside the chamber before we closed the lid. So just a few comments about the vents. They seem to be working really well. The handles are not hot at all. As you can see, it's a little bit warm, but nothing that's noticeable. So they seem to be perfect in that sense. Even the one at the top, a little bit warm, but that's about it. So we'll now just turn that down to perhaps just a little bit over a quarter open. See if we can get the temperature to level out. It's at 378 currently. So let's see if it holds 378 or thereabouts, and for how long. So we'll come back shortly. So it's been another 40 odd minutes and our probe is still floating around the 375 to 378 mark. Both the bottom vents are open and the top vent is half open, and it's been sitting there for 40 minutes at that temperature, which is brilliant. Really happy with it. Everything works exactly the way it should do. Although there's no food inside, it's just a dry run, as it were. The temperatures would be a little bit higher with meat or chicken or any other food items inside. The temperatures would be lower. I'm doing a proper cook tomorrow, so I'll know more about what kind of temperatures I can consistently cook at, and hopefully that'll give me a good indication about how well this unit performs. So really pleased with everything that I've done with it. It's worth the investment. Works really well. Hopefully I'll post another video soon with one of my major cooking exercises. See you soon.